is here in South Florida at the Coral Springs Center for the Performing Arts. This is at 2855 Coral Springs Drive in Coral Springs, Florida. So please check it out. Buy your tickets early. Get online and buy your tickets early. You can't miss it. It's one of those memorable occasions. It's going to have a mixture of artists. You name it. As an artist, he's going to be there. Okay? And you have got to participate in this. Even Shonda Paul, you understand me, is going to be on this concert. So you know it's going to bad, wicked and bad. No, sir? Good. And at the end of the program, I'll remind you about it again because I need you to be there. Because you never know. I might be there and, you know, commenting, doing some things. And we'll be able to have some words with you and do some interviews with you people there who visit the show so we can get your feedback or your feed forward on the show. So how are you doing? What are going on in your neck of the woods? Several things have taken place over the last week. You know, and every day in Babylon is, you know, more exciting and informative than the day before. Trust me. A lot of things are happening. We don't want to talk about the man. He seems to get over publicized to the point he's coming down big like a spoiled pear. So we don't want to talk about it, except to say that when you have a spoiled pear around the house, you have to prepare for it. And you have a whole puss that come about the place. And you know, puss love pear. And they say puss always a tea, fish and meat. So I don't know. Just saying, just remind you that, you know, when you have too much puss, watch your fish and watch your meat. Like your pension and your social security. Watch your fish and your meat, like your education program and other things that the country have to prepare for the populace and the nation. But then that's another story. And you can read between the lines. I'm not that very bright. I just pass it out to you and then you'll be able to read between the lines and just watch out. Fine? And those of us who are Caribbean nationals who are not fully together with our situation, with our taxes and with our status, so to speak. I am hoping and I'm wishing that most of us will make sure that we use the opportunity as quick and as fast as we can, as long as you want to maintain some citizenry within the United States to, you know, get your thing together and make sure that the man just pass a law one morning because he wake up and not feel too good and him get up and him just say, what, you know, we're going to declare a ban on all of this thing and all of that, and, you know, him is like a God and he like to be treated as God. He has this God-like complex, you know. So he wants to feel that him is the Messiah. And nobody must oppose him and him just rule by edict, so to speak. Him just make an announcement and then his law. Even when it is unconstitutional. If he's irrespective of the Constitution, his word and his needs and his desires and his wishes go and stands above the Constitution. Yeah, he behaves like that at times. So we see how that unfolds. I know there are like about 30 lawsuits or more in the federal court and in different parts of the courts across the United States about the various programs and things which he has implemented and all this. He has certain more executive order than is allowed to sign constitutionally, it would appear. Apparently there was no limit to executive orders, except in that they never anticipated that no one president would sign so many executive orders, whether they're real or imaginary, based upon his thoughts and his thinking, because some of what he assumes and presumes, and he creates an executive order for it, it's unconstitutional, actually, and it's nonsensical, some of it. But what, we give the man the pen, and we give him the desk, and we give him the office, and we say, what they go do what I do. So I do what I do. So let us see how much of a balls the Republican government has, the Republican party has, to be able to rein him in and to put some sense into the administration of the affairs of the nation, of the most powerful country on the planet. You know, which have the biggest army on the planet. Next, well, second to the biggest one. China apparently has a little bit more than what we have. But we live and we learn. We learn about our mistakes and our, you know, bad decisions. And that's what it is. When you make bad decisions, you have to prepare to live with the consequences. As the Indians, who we beat up and take away the country from, the United States, the Indians will tell you, when you pray for rain, prepare to deal with the mud. Eh? So we all prepare for the rain, Trump rain. So we have to deal with the mud that Trump brings, mud that Trump brings. And, you know, and he says that there's not going to be a recession. He's not even thinking about it. There's just going to be a little bit of obsession, you know, to the economy. But that is not a big thing because it's for the good, because wealth is going to be here and it's going to stay here, and a lot of people are just going to just walk up and just come just invest money in America because they love America, and all of these nice things will happen, and you know, our lives will be better and much richer, and we'll go to prosperity come through our ears and our eyes and our nose, and everybody's going to be living like, you know, Hansel and Gretel, you know, and hold hands together and walking down the river and or the stream and singing Kumbaya. Well, we wait and see. Eh? Your guess is as good as mine. All right. So how you do? What I go along with you? What's I go along in your neck of the woods? I hope you're just making sure that they're on the right side of things. Some other things are happening out there in the Caribbean. Mayor Motley is being questioned about the amount of money that she has spent over the last 5 years or 15 years for foreign travel. And one of the interesting things that came out in our parliamentary presentation, and Mayor Motley is the Prime Minister of Barbados. Small country, maybe about what, 400,000 people, but that woman have more balls than the entire leaders of the Caribbean put together. She's strong, she's articulate, she's bright, and she know what she's about, and she not take no chat. And when she's ready, she take no prisoners. She just call a spade, and you know, if you don't like it, tough titty. So she was being questioned in Parliament, which is their right to do. So she was giving an outline in Parliament saying that, you know, she has spent $1.something million within the last 15 years in travel, up and down. But what it has brought to the country was over $100 million worth of grant. Not loans, grant. And grant money is free money. So when you measure what she has spent in terms of foreign travel, and it's a part of the records of Parliament, and it comes to discussion, you have never heard none of the prime ministers and none of the armed leaders in the Jamaican experience, or even the ministers, their expenditure for the month in terms of their travel and their movements and their per diem and stuff has never been brought to Parliament. If it has, it was just part of a standing order as well, that this has been tabled, and them stamp it and say, yes, pass next. It's not something that seems to have been debated. So we, the public, who are paid them the $300 million that some of them are get a year time, and the $25 million a month, all of them, we don't know how much they must spend on foreign travel and per diem, and some of them sometimes carry out 15 people with them per trip. Go away at taxpayers' expense. And we don't hear, when they come back, a proper report given and reported in the media about their performance. They went on this trip, they did this, they did that, and this is the result to the country. Now and again you hear something coming out of the Ministry of Tourism. Minister Bartlett was in, you know, Budapest, or he was in somewhere in the Far East, or in India, or in Dubai, and he made this arrangement and he signed these things. And give him credit, a lot of these things comes out in the media when he makes these trips, because apart from the fact that, I mean, you know, he's a darling of the tourism industry worldwide, because he has had some insights and he has been very articulate and he's been a trailblazer in tourism, and we have to give him credit for that. And it is not only credit to him, but it's a credit to Jamaica having produced such a bright boy to represent us in terms of our tourism. But at the same time, there are some questions there within the context of that needs to be answered. And one of the things that some of us are concerned, and is a question that I know that is on the lips of some of us to ask him when we meet him, to say, we're not satisfied what is happening in the hotels when they come here and how they're treating the workers and the benefits to workers. One of the new hotels that has just been opened recently, the Princess out in Negril, the Princess Hotel, they are building like about 400 rooms in addition to what they have for the 1,000 odd rooms that they have, nearly 2,000 rooms. They are building 400 and odd rooms for their workers so that the workers get accommodation. And what is nice, the workers don't have to pay for it. It is accommodation being provided to them. But we're going to talk about that and more when we come back. It is Tenny Miller Live. Let's go to our first break now, because we're going to be talking about also a man who is a son of the soil when we get back from this break. This is Tenny Miller Live. Not going nowhere, soon come.
I said I tell them already, I'm going to tell them again. Cocotti, I'm going to tell them again. Alright, sure. You be, you bang, be, you ding. You be, you bang, ding. You bang, be, ding. It's a coffee and tea.
This man was never one of those men who was interested in bling and excitement as a performer, as an artist. They call him the nah give up man, because he had this strong constitution to withstand hard times and to deal with difficult moments and things. But he was a very unassuming but bright Jamaican. His wife remembers him dearly as the man who then referred to as a nah give up singer, who kept a positive outlook even through very hard times and even to the end of his time. He was initially diagnosed with lymphoma in 2019, but for the last 6 months he has also struggled with pneumonia following the diagnosis 6 years ago. About 3 weeks ago, when he was admitted into a hospital in South Florida, he was asked he asked his wife if she was worried, and she said, "I'm always worried about you." And he told her not to worry because everything was going to be all right. He was always very hopeful. She said, I got a call early this morning to say that he had been transferred from the facility to the hospital, which is like 5 minutes away. Of course, Malva Scott confirmed later that the reggae legend Calvin Cocoa T. Scott had died. The veteran singer passed away at 4:46 on Monday morning at a hospital in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, following what they call a cardiac arrest or heart attack. He was 65. It was, as she put it, Miss Mavia, she said, he was definitely very brave. Mavia is the mother of 3 of Cocoa T's children. He was positive throughout his illness all throughout the time. Known for his sweet melodic voice as well as his powerful chanting, Cocoa T last performance, as I can be remembered, was 3 years ago on the Welcome to Jamrock cruise. In 2019, she said, he was she remembered him recording The Toughest, a song performed at Boji Banton historic Long Walk to Freedom concert at the National Stadium in Jamaica. They also refer to him as I'm the toughest because of his resilience. A man who, like, they say, you know, you pick him up, you lick him down and bunks right back. Was a hard man for dead. Born in Rocky Point, in Clarendon on September 3rd, 1959, Cocoa T started making his name in Jamaica from as far as 1985, with such songs like I Lost My Sonia and Sweet Sweet Cocoa T, among others. In 1984, the little short man from Clarendon, Calvin Cocoa T, made his very first trip to that city. No, the city is so nice that they gave it its name twice. New York, New York. Eh? They called it twice. New York, New York, USA. And that started a more than 3 decades of long love affair that only intensified as the years rolled by. Because he fell in love with New York, New York fell in love with him, and then there were a series of concerts and performances that he has done, and interviews with radio stations and persons and personalities across the board. Cocoa T was a favorite. Cocoa T was well loved. He was an example of a lot of young upcoming artists who, despite his ability and his voice and the quality of his shows and his performance, he was just an humble man, and he sees himself as just another man who out there, who just does somebody with a talent, and he was willing to share his talent. He said some time ago, and I quote, my first trip outside of Jamaica to perform was at John Joe, Laws, and Volcano Sounds. We spent 3 to 4 weeks in New York doing performances, and we were welcomed by the Jamaican and Caribbean people especially. And I can say that for many artists out of Jamaica, they have a similar story of New York being their first staging in foreign soil, said Cocoa T. And he said, the fans loved me, the fans appreciated me, and they made me feel wanted. He was well known by his fans. He was known coming out of his New York experience. He wrote one of the songs. I don't know if my engineer can find the song, Rockers Island. We have a song called Rockers Island. That was by Cocoa T. And now we're gonna Rockers Island. Or something like that? Yeah. Good. I don't know, we can find it? We can find Cocoa T Rockers Island. This he recorded at HC&F Studios in Long Island for the Brooklyn-based Master Dot label. He first performed it at the Apollo Theater in New York. And Cocotte reportedly had to wheel and come again multiple times because the song took a life of its own, and it had the entire Apollo Theater, and not many people can go to Apollo Theater and really create a stir. And he had Apollo jumping. He had to wheel and come about 2 or 3 times or more, as they say. If we fast forward to 2020, and the reggae singer is again turning musical spotlights on a place that is dear to his heart. He had Stephen Stanley hopping around the studio while mixing the tune built by New York, a part of his tribute again to New York. We find Rikers Island. And that song had Stephen chanting and running and jumping around the studio like he was mad, like, as I said, hot dick, because that song. And students, Stephen Stanley is one of those experienced studio engineers and recording, mixing engineers, doing music for years with quite a number of different artists, Jamaican, Caribbean, and international artists out there. And Cocotte had him jumping around the studio and hopping to Rikers Island. I recall that one of his admirers and journalists who have perhaps covered maybe about 30 or 40 concerts by Cocotte will be joining us sometime soon when we come back from the next break, and he'll be sharing with us some of his thoughts and his opinion on Cocotte. Since his passing, the passing of the veteran, the Minister of Culture in Jamaica, Oliver Babsy Grains, paid tribute to Cocotte. And one of the things she said was that he was known for his sweet melodic voice. But first, let me hear you listen to Rikers Island.
Should have seen your little son, Mama. The first time that you'd come to New York, them tell him youth, you mustn't skylark. Learn a trade or go to school, and don't you turn yourself in a fool. But now him gone a Rikers Island, him never want go a Rikers Island. But now him gone a Rikers Island, him never want go a Rikers Island. You shoulda hear what your mama say. Keep on pushing drugs and then you must fade away. You shoulda hear what your papa say. Send you go America, no send you there to play. But now him gone a Rikers Island, him never want go a Rikers Island. Him used to chuck it from Brooklyn to Bronx, and I gone like the most top ranks. But now for him government response, cause him gone a Rikers Island. Him used to mix up with the Dan man, and now him gone a Rikers Island. Well, oh mama, I wish you were around to see your son, him going down, and how the waters them bouncing around. Him used to chuck it from town to town, and used to shot people all around, man, uptown and downtown and all around. But now him gone a Rikers Island, him never want go a Rikers Island, and now him gone a Rikers Island. I'm a saying. The first time the youth come to New York, them tell him youth, you mustn't skylark. Learn a trade or go to school, and don't you turn yourself in a fool. But now him gone a Rikers Island, him never.
Stay tuned for Flexx TV News.
The Caribbean News, covering current events from around the world, regionally and locally with Sean Garrity. It's the news the Caribbean can use. And now the news.
The news today, Caribbean education facing a crisis, World Bank says. Caribbean expected to add over 1 million jobs by 2032. In entertainment, A$AP Rocky acquitted of charges for firing handgun at former friend. In business, Microsoft says new chip will fast-track quantum computing era. While in sports, Shaw sits out as Reggae Girls face Peru. Busby seizes chance to test new talent.
Production of the news, entertainment, and sports is brought to you by
Hi, I'm Amy Flexx with Flexx TV, and I am here to tell you about our pay-per-view service we now offer. Pay-per-view streaming has helped many creators ranging from event promoters, sporting events, and concerts, from all industries to monetize their content.
You may be wondering why choose pay-per-view. Well, I am here to tell you for one. You are in control of how much you can charge your customer per click, if priced right. You can win big with pay-per-view. We also offer on-demand, which can be another way to profit from your event.
So, what are you waiting for? Call us at the number below or email us at flexfm@gmail.com and let us help you reach a broader audience globally.
Flexx TV would like to thank you for your continued support. It is greatly appreciated. Flexx TV, your #1 television station.
The Caribbean is facing a severe
I said I tell them already, I mean I go tell them again. Cocotti, I go tell them again. Alright, sure. You be you bang be you ding. You be you bang ding. You be bang be ding. It's a coffee and tea.
Welcome back to the program. The program is Tenny Miller Live. I'm your host, Roy Tenny Miller here. Before we went to the break, we're talking about the indomitable, this man known for his sweet, sweet melodic voice as well as his powerful chanting, Cocoa, who I understand one of his last performances was 3 years ago on the Welcome to Jamrock cruise in 2019. Of course, they call him the toughest. He has a song called I'm the Toughest. Online with me is Mr. Adrian Freighter. Mr. Freighter, good afternoon. Hello? Hello? Mr. Freighter? Hello, Mr. Freighter? Hello? Hello? I'm not hearing Mr. Freighter.
Alright, so let's
Dial him back.
go to
Let me see if we can try to get back Mr. Freighter online with us.
yeah.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight. Yeah, there's screams from everywhere.
Mr. Freighter, thank you for joining us. I know you're very busy, so we won't keep you very long. You're fine. Mr. Freighter, I know you as one of the veterans in Jamaica as far as a newspaper journalist, and you have done just about, you're one of the few journalists I think who might have done so many entertainment coverage in Jamaica as a journalist, and I've spoken your mind and give me your comments across the board, good, bad, or indifferent, for both local and international artists. You are one of those persons who have covered Cocoa Tea tremendously over the years. About how many times have you might have? Huh?
I've been covering Cocoa Tea probably for the past 25 years or more.
For the past 25 years or more, dear Lord.
Or more, yeah.
Yes.
From he just broke on the scene until right through his career. I've covered him at numerous festivals. Reggae Sun Fest, Jerk Fest, Rainforest Jerk Fest, Western Consciousness, Tribute to Peter Tosh, all over the place, Rebel Salute, all over the place. I've covered him many, many, many times.
Wonderful, wonderful. How would you describe Cocoa Tea?
The easiest way to describe Cocoa Tea is Cocoa Tea was a consummate performer.
Yes.
The ultimate crowd pleaser. Once Cocoa Tea performed, don't care how we the other acts were, you would give the show still feeling satisfied. Because Cocoa Tea was a man who always delivered. He was just this exceptional talent.
Yeah. Would you say it was one of those talent that perhaps not seem to have been not gotten the kind of a recognition that he would have deserved in comparison to other artists?
Globally, maybe yes.
Yes.
He did not create the kind of global impact. Some person probably even have lesser talent than him, would have created. But in Jamaica, he was something special. He was highly rated and respected in Jamaica.
I know the women loved him.
Absolutely. The ladies loved him very much because he sing a lot of these ballad praising women,
Yes.
Love you truly and all these things. And
Yes.
You're really into him.
Cocoa T did so. I know there was a performance when R. Kelly was there.
Yes, and that was back in 2011.
Yes.
The promoters at Reggae Sumfest, they did not book Cocoa T. R. Kelly was booked for that event.
Yes.
R. Kelly was supposed to perform on International Night 1, which would have been the Friday night. But the promoters got a message on Wednesday that he did an emergency throat surgery and would not be available for the show.
Right.
So they needed a replacement quickly. And they phoned Cocoa T, and Cocoa T said yes, he will come in and fill his slot. So they actually came in without even rehearsal. He never rehearsed, he just came and performed. And he ended up as being the star of the night.
Yes.
I think the lineup also had a Barry Hammond in it and a Bonnie Wheeler. But Cocoa T was, and then the day Cocoa T did his set, during his set he was telling the promoter, look here, you don't need to look overseas the stars.
No, we are right
we
here.
Have stars in Jamaica. Look at it. I am here saving the show for you tonight. And then in further on the performance, he would say to the crowd, do you miss R. Kelly? And I mean, I don't think there was a single person in the venue who did not say no.
No, because I mean, you could hear the resounding no from all the way up to perhaps up at the airport that was coming from the Sumfest grounds.
Absolutely. And that was one of, for me, that was maybe Cocoa T's best performance because it was somewhat impromptu, and I mean, he just came raw. He did a lot of, you never rehearse.
No, but which kind of tell you about the kind of an artist and the kind of a professional that he is, and how well prepared he always is.
Yes, man, he's always ready, man. He's always ready to go. And I mean, I can't ever recall a weak Cocoa T performance. Just on reflection, I can't remember any show. I know there was some show, a Western consciousness, because of the number of acts that were built.
Yes.
Cocoa T had to cut it set short. But all they cut it set short, it was still one of the star performers for the night.
Yes. I spoke to a lady yesterday who says that when she goes to a concert and she hears Barry Hammond and Cocoa T, then she's satisfied.
Yeah, man, that is, I'll tell you something. Maybe one thing out of Cocoa T's career that probably is missing is the Cocoa T concert where you would get 2 hours non-stop of Cocoa T. I don't think he has ever done any of that. I can't remember him doing any of that. But Cocoa T could go for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Instead of it, normally they would time into a 45-hour slot at a Sumfest or a jazz and blues.
Yes.
But Cocoa T, his catalog was deep enough for him to go 3 hours. So we never got that kind of
non-stop without repeating any song.
Absolutely.
Wow. He was an exceptional artist.
And another thing about Cocoa T, because Cocoa T is just a consummate singer, he could cover a Dennis Brown song with relative ease.
Yes.
He could cover Gregory Isaac with relative ease. He could cover Sanchez with relative ease.
Wow.
Because he was a quality singer.
Yes. And you can look at the range of artists that you're talking about and the various techniques and variations to their voice and their presentation. Yet still it had no problem, Cocoa T had no problem in covering their music.
All those perfect giants in the music. So the fact that we could cover them effortlessly, that indicates to you clearly that Cocoa T was a giant in this business. He was not an other artist.
Yes, indeed. You think the kind of legacy that Cocoa T has left is something that how you think we should treat with him though? How you think the society and the government and all of us should treat with the legacy of a Cocoa?
I would hope that Cocoa is a Clarendon man.
Yes.
I would hope that they put some monument down in Clarendon to remember Cocoa also. And the fact that at the university now there's a course where students are taught the rudiments of reggae music and so on. I hope they'll find some place in the curriculum to praise Cocoa because his contribution was immense. So it should not just die like that. It should live on for a long time.
But you pointed to something that was very fundamental because of his capacity as an artist and his level of professionalism, because he's one man who I hear will just spend hours underneath a tree just by himself relaxing and just singing a range of different songs just to test and to improve upon himself. We hope that the institution or the university would have been able to point out some of these things into his original, the kind of a technique that he has honed over time, which came nothing from a music school.
No, it's just practice perfect. He discovered early that he was able to sing and sing well. So he just practicing craft and he was able to master it to a great extent. The strength of a Cocoa is not even just Cocoa original material, as I said earlier. Cocoa could sing over another person's song and it sound better than the original.
Better than the original, yeah. That's the kind of man he is.
He had that kind of voice and that kind of range.
Amazing. You know, we're really going to miss him. He has left a serious void to be filled.
Yes, man. Cocoa made his mark, made an indelible mark on Jamaica's music, and I am sure that he will not be forgotten.
Absolutely.
The catalog is too beautiful for us to forget.
Let me hope that we'll be getting some new. And one understands that he would have had some works, music in the works that has not yet even been released. From what one person was saying.
Yes, man. He would have had material, but one thing, something that we need to look at, about Cocoa Cocoa is one of those artists who has probably, Cocoa has more collaboration probably than any other reggae artist. And Cocoa it was Cocoa who brought a coffee to the fore.
Yeah. What do you know about that process and how coffee came to being in
I think Cocoa saw her performing maybe on TV. I think she did a little song about Bolt on TV, and Cocoa thought I like the little song.
Yes.
Then he called her up and said, "Look here, I like your voice. I think you have a beautiful voice. I am doing a rebel salute. Would you want to come along a rebel salute and do something?" And Coffee took up the challenge, the invitation. So Cocoa actually introduced Coffee to the world. Rebel Salute.
Yes. And at a big show like Rebel Salute, that's such an opportunity.
Yes. Once Coffee hit the big stage as Rebel Salute and the world heard her, that was the story.
That was a done deal. She just take off after that.
Take off right off. And she has been doing great for herself as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
All the major cultural shows in Jamaica, Cocoa has worked on them. And Cocoa, for example, when other artists are putting on their own shows, Cocoa is probably the first one they would call because he's always brilliant. Cocoa was a generous man with his talent. He was not afraid to share with the other artists. So if I don't say a Sizzla is putting on a show, you can just pen Cocoa names because he's going to be there.
He's going to be there, yes.
Kind of a person. Yeah.
And I hear of all the artists, he's just one of those artists who was not one of those people greedy for money, despite the quality of his voice and his performance.
I'll tell you something. I believe Cocoa probably loved music more than what he could have gotten out of music. And maybe that is one of the things that he did not break big internationally. Because some people, they pretty much slow down their careers to break into new markets.
Right.
Cocotti was comfortable doing his thing.
And he enjoyed every moment of it.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
And outside of him as a singer, if you should meet Cocotti, the person, in a casual conversation, you realize him is just a simple countryman who love life. A simple countryman who love life. And him have all these like a fun story of growing up and all these things.
Yes.
But
yes.
really a friendly person. One of the reasons why the fans love Cocotti so much, because he was approachable.
Yes.
If you see Cocotti and you say, what I'm Cocotti, you probably don't know it from nowhere. But he will turn around and greet you with a smile, have a good conversation with you and move on. He was that type of person. Friendly and easy to get along with.
Definitely. I remember Cocotti was passing through a mall here in South Florida some time ago, some years ago. And, people used to say, those you are the, and him said, Cocotti, man. And, with that little, a little jovial laugh. Yes, and then he would just have a conversation as if to say you were friends from way back when.
That's one of the things that made him so special and so lovable. That's why the Jamaican people love Cocotti. Always friendly, easy to get along with. And he was not one of those contents of artists that go on stage and poke fun at other people.
No. And he never had an attitude. He never had an attitude.
No, sir, I must just easy to get along with. I've never heard of a situation where him and a promoter quarreling over money or anything like that. And I don't think Cocotti has ever been a no-show for any performance as far as I know. Once you book in, he's going to be there.
Wow. Born in Rocky Point in Clarendon on September 3rd, 1959, Cocotti started making his mark in Jamaica from then until now. May his soul rest in peace. Brother Adrian Frater, I thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Yeah, man, it was my pleasure.
Oh, the pleasure is mine.
A good afternoon to you and to your listeners. And may life and love continue in your journey as a journalist.
Thank you so much, my brother. I'm humbled by your comments. Blessings. And you too, because you are a star, Adrian Frater. You are a star, without question. You are a star, without question. And I have people like me have to sit at your feet. I am humbled. Thank you so much.
I started learning from the best as a youngster.
Yes.
And I've never stopped learning because I realized that you cannot exhaust knowledge.
No.
Once you're alive, you're going to be learning more things.
Definitely.
You open your mind to knowledge.
Yes. As you said that, I remember one great journalist who passed and gone, come from Western Jamaica by the name of Howard Wright. Was a brilliant man and a great writer. Was living up in the hills of St. James near Cambridge sometime. And, what you said is similar to what Howard Wright said. You never learn. You never stop learning.
Knowledge, every day something new. There's so much to learn. You can never stop learning.
Definitely.
So, that's the way to go and grow.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Bless up yourself.
Yeah, man.
And keep the faith. The pleasure is mine.
Good.
Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Good. Here you had it. That was Mr. Adrian Frater, editor with the Gleaner in Jamaica, who is also an entertainment journalist. And he has covered Cocotti, he says, much more than perhaps about 25 or 30 times in his career, looking at the performer, the type of performances that he has done, the kind of work that he has done. And he can speak to the quality of not just of the man, but the quality of work that man has produced. His humbleness, his strength, his power. Cocotti, from 1985 until now. Well, he was born on the 59, but in 1985 he started out an international career after getting an opportunity to go into the United States, come here to the United States, and really, do brilliant performances. We're going to play one more song from Cocotti before we go, and then we wrap up the program. But just want to say, our condolences to his wife, and the mother of three of his children, and we hope that they will find solace in the kind of a quality of work and the kind of a legend that he is and the kind of a history that he has created, the kind of a thing that he has left behind. And we hope that, you know, the prosperity that comes from the work and travels of a man like Kokoti will fall upon his children, and they will be able to go forward, you know, in strength, knowing that their father have a legacy that is, he has left to not just to Jamaica, his homeland, but certainly to all who across the world who appreciate and love one of the most powerful musical force on the earth, Jamaican reggae music. Blessings and enough love to the man Kokoti, and respects to him. Thank you. So the discussion continues. We're going to say we can play another piece of Kokoti for you, and then after that we come back and do a rap. This is Tenny Live. I know we're gonna Rockers Island. Oh, he also had a great song called I Lost My Sonia, and one called Sweet Sweet Kokoti. Thanks to Adrian Frater, who remembers him well and who have covered him, you know, on several occasions.
Turn off the immediate sound over this up, idiot sound over this up, them idiot sound. Oh my Sonia, I'm glad you have come home to me. Why did you leave? I've found my Sonia, she has come home to me. She says she's tired to see me living in misery. When me say, yeah me know, yeah. Don't try to test, you know that I'm greater than the rest. Don't you ever test, you know that I'm greater than the rest. 'Cause anything that you can do, I can do it better. 'Cause I'm the toughest. We're doing it all night. We're doing it all night. Till the broad daylight. We're doing it all night. Saturday night. We're doing it all night. Till the broad daylight. Now this one is designed for 18 and over. Over. Say 18 and over. Over. Yeah. Won't you go home to your mama, go home to your papa, you're too young to be my lover, to be for my lover, whoa, you must be 18 and over. I've been checking you out, but you are too young, girl, and a girl like you will cause worries into my world. I said I tell them already, and I will tell them again. I will tell them again. Alright. Hey, you bang me. Hey, you bang me. Hey, you bang me. Then Kokoti, Jaja no Kokoti, and come again.
T, the legend, the consummate performer, that slice of Jamaica's cultural fabric with this particular kind of a acoustic voice that is only, you know, it is indigenous and endemic, we use that term, to Kokoti. It has one of those voices where it's very clear you cannot mistake him for anybody. It's like you cannot mistake Eric Donaldson. You cannot mistake, you know, Abuju Bantam. You cannot mistake a Barry Hammond. You cannot mistake a Kokoti. Thank you for your time on this earth and your treadings. Thank you for the legacy that you have left, Kokoti, to us and to generations to come, generations yet unborn. Let us hope that our university will be able to utilize some of this valuable material which you have left behind as part of the training process and the educational process so that those generations to come will be able to understand that we have had geniuses, not only people in North America or in Europe, but right here, right in Jamaica, we have had some great and outstanding performers. Until I join you next week, just want to announce to you that coming, we're going to be doing a special program on immigration and the new immigration laws and what it means for Jamaicans, nationals, Caribbean nationals, what it means for the economy, what it means for the future for our program next time. Until I join you again, Roy Tenny Miller saying thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening in. You sleep the sleep of the just, free from all your cares and sorrows. And as your night turns to day, as indeed it must, may you wake to a brighter tomorrow. Walk good.
Cocotte,